So hello, this is going to be my video for a tutorial, and I know this is my cat Andy, and I woke her up. She was asleep, and this is actually introduction to my video. I'm going to be making two omelets, a country style and a French style omelet, but I figure I have a little introduction to it, so I'll here we go. Okay, so the beginning of this is parsley, and I tore off a piece there. You're actually going to see me crumple it and actually bring it all together so it's more compact. Then just take your knife and chop it right through. I like to turn it sideways once I'm done chopping it. That's so it becomes fine because I want it fine. And this is because yeah, I'm going to be doing a couple omelets, and this is going to be for a French omelet. There's a tarragon, which I have actually never used tarragon before. For this, I grabbed this over chives because I couldn't find chives. So we're going to give this a go and see how it works. But just tear the leaves off and do the same thing with the parsley. Bunch it together as much as possible and chop it fine. And I'll go in for the French omelet, which in case you all know that what I'm doing here will be two styles omelet. One's going to be French, and the other one is going to be a country style omelet, or closer to what we here you would find at a diner. But yeah, so let's go. All right, so here we are back at the stove, and so right here is where I screwed up. I definitely screwed this up. So the pan should be hot by the time you put the butter in it. Not too hot because it'll start smoking. Then it'll actually start burning the sugars and the fats within the butter. So the pan should have been hot, but it is what it is. So we're going to wait for the pan to warm up and the butter to melt. But in the meantime, we need to get the eggs ready. And so this is going to be a 3-egg omelet. And like I said, this is going to be what's considered more like a country style, or not quite deli style, because I don't really care for the idea of making it more like an egg sheet where it's cooked all the way through. You'll see what I mean. So this is more or less still like more what you would find at a restaurant. So 3 eggs into a bowl. And we're going to mix those eggs up. But one thing you got to remember when you're mixing eggs is to get something to mix it with. I forgot the fork. So went back, got the fork, and start mixing. Now you pop the yolks first, and you're going to start beating them really hard. And the reason for doing this is you want to actually break up the yolks and the whites all together. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm actually going from side to side on the bowl. I'm not just stirring it. I am actually beating it. So that's the process of doing it. And I skip forward in time there so the butter is nice and heated. And we are ready to add the eggs to the pan. Now this butter could actually go just a little bit warmer, but it's fine as it is. It's going to just take a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's fine. And the process of this one is to pull all the egg on the outside onto the inside. So when it starts cooking, you want to move that egg inwards and get it replaced by what's the uncooked egg. So that's the process that we're going around, and just killing some time as it warms up a little bit more. Because yeah, I should have had this pan hotter, but it works out fine. So as you can start to see, that is exactly what's going on. Is the cooked egg is now being pushed to the center. The uncooked egg is starting to replace that on the pan. And this is actually going to allow for what's called like bigger curds. So bigger, a little bit tougher egg, which is fine. It's egg. It's not going to be unedible. So going to keep doing that. And what you're looking for is just to the point that you want it done. This is all about just how you like it. I like my eggs a little wet. And I'm going to actually do some at the end of this egg that I normally don't do. That will be flip it. So, because for me, if I was cooking it for myself, I would go just a little bit longer on this. I'd add my ingredients, then I'd fold it, and that would be it. But, so once again, I forgot another ingredient, and that is the cheese. So, then that's fine. This is going to be, you're not going to overcook this thing. So we're gonna add cheese to it, and whatever you add to this point, that's all up to you. Really, omelet portion of it to me is the egg part. If you get the egg part wrong, doesn't matter what you stuff it with, it's not going to be as good as if you get it right, you know. So now we're gonna fold this in on itself, and like I said, this is still pretty wet, but this is more my preference. You know, you don't have to get it this wet. But from here, normally I would just take it out and eat it like that. But I believe I'm making this for my wife, and she likes it a little bit more cooked. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip this egg over. And actually, first, I forgot about this. The butter in there is to actually kind of brown the top of the omelet, and that's to just make it look a little bit prettier. It will cook the insides a little bit more, but you're just going to get a nicer looking omelet that way. So we're going to go ahead and sit this up, and I'm actually really worried about the shape of it. It's not that big of a deal, you know, but anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to flip this, and you flip it any way you like. I'm going to use the pan because I think I can cook, so I try weird things. But anyways, there we go. That's not a bad flip. That'll work. It flattens out a little bit more, so just be warned, it might do that, but that's fine. So at this point, it's basically done. You gotta let it cook here just for a little bit longer to get the insides a little bit more cooked, and transfer it onto the pan, and there you go. Right there is your country style omelet. All right, here we are. This is going to be the last egg we do. And you see me cleaning up the pan here a bit. That is needed. So this is the French style omelet. And I'm worried about how hot this pan is. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to let it cool down. I don't want it completely browning on me. So you're going to see me move the pan on and off the heat, back and forth. But to mix the eggs is almost the same way. We're going to add the herbs to the eggs. So do you remember the parsley and tarragon that I mixed up? That's going to go into the batter first, or to the egg mixture. And yeah, see, I was really worried about that butter burning, but it's honestly, it was just fine. So eggs the same way we did the previous omelet. Mix it nice and nice and well mixed. And so here is where the difference is going to be. So it's in the pan, and from here, what you're going to do is keep moving the egg. Now, you're scrambling the egg is technically what you're doing. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to move it, and keep it going until you get it to how the doneness that you want. So that's entirely up to you how you like it. I know most people don't really like raw eggs, or slightly raw, or even runny. I know my uncle, if you cook this for him, he wants that thing to bounce off the table. That's how well done he wants it. But I preferably like a little bit wetter egg. And that's what this omelet, the French style omelet, is going to be. It's more creamier in texture, and you could definitely go more well done than this. But this is my personal way to eat it. So, and if you're going to do it this way, you got to make sure your eggs are fresh and well handled. When you buy them at the store and all that, you know, I recommend getting just a little bit nicer quality egg. I didn't, but I'll be fine. So, same thing. I move it to the end of this bowl here, really to get the shape, this half moon shape. And it's also a little bit easier to handle, you know. Because a lot of times if you're trying to mix something or shape something like this, you know, use what you got, and that pan's right there, so it works out fine. But that is the French style omelet. That's going to go onto the plate, and there you go. Okay, so this is actually the That's the country style omelet right there, and here's the French style omelet. Hope you guys like it. I just wanted to show you what the middle of this looks like, and yeah, that's my video. So all right, thank you.